Hey everyone, welcome back to Linux for Noobs. Today we are diving deep into something that looks simple but can massively boost your productivity in terminal, and that is wildcards. Whether you are copying files, listing them, or deleting them in bulk, wildcards help you do more with less typing. So without wasting any time, let's jump in. I'm gonna open up my terminal. So, what are wildcards? Wildcards are special characters used in the terminal to match file names or directory names based on patterns instead of typing out completely. For example, I want to delete the files which ends with 123. I can do that. For example, I have three files: apple 123 log. Similarly, I have banana 123 log. Similarly, car 123 log. I can delete these files by using wildcards in one very simple step. We will look into it. So wildcards are basically a tool which help you to sort the files based on patterns. The patterns could be of many types. For example, alphanumeric, numeric. It could be starting with uppercase, starting with lowercase, having a certain type of file extension. If there is any sort of pattern, you can use wildcards to combine all those files which matches those pattern, and then you can do whatever you want with them. So the first wildcard is the asterisk. Asterisk is quite mouthful, so I'm just gonna go with star. This wildcard means 0 or more characters. So if you are using star, it will match anything, means anything or any number of characters. For example, if I type ls star log, it's gonna list all the files which are ending with .log. So here star.log means anything which is followed by .log. Similarly, if I type ls a, then I type star, it means any file, but it should be starting with a. So star means 0 or more characters without any limit. So next up is the question mark. The question mark matches exactly one character. If I have 3 question marks, it's gonna match 3 characters. For example, if I type ls file, then a question mark .txt, it's gonna match any file which is named as file1.txt, file2.txt, file a.txt, so that question mark can be replaced with any character. I'll give you an example. I have created some practice files, so let me move into that directory first. I'm gonna cd desktop/linux. Then I'm gonna hit ls, so you can see I have created so many files. If I type ls, then a question mark, then .log, it's gonna list all the files which has .log but starts with one character. So you can see it will not match if I type 2 question mark then .log, it won't match any file, because if you see, there is no file which is starting with more than one character followed by .log, so it will not match that. A question mark will only match one character. If you want to match more characters, you can use as many question marks as you want. I'm gonna clear this up. The next one we're gonna use is square brackets. The square bracket will match any one characters which is inside the bracket. For example, if I type ls file 123, then I'm close it .txt, it's gonna match file 1.txt, file 2.txt, file 3.txt. One thing you need to remember is every character inside the bracket is a list. It's not a combined string. Every character is part of the list, and the list is character 1, 2 and 3. So the output will be file 1.txt, then file 2.txt, then file 3.txt, but it will not match file 123.txt if that's what you are thinking, and it will also not match file 4.txt because in the bracket we only have 1, 2, 3. So this is what we call the list. Next up is ranges. Range is something like this, A to Z. So if I type ls A to Z .log, it's gonna list all the files which are A.log, B.log, all the way to Z.log. Here inside the bracket we have a range. Similarly, I can shorten the range as well. I can type this and then .log. The output it's gonna give is A.log, B.log, C.log, but it won't match D.log because that is not in the range. So this is how the range works. The next up is negation. What if you want to match anything except certain characters? So you can use exclamation or this. As we saw earlier, if I have a set which is abc .log, it's gonna match a.log, b.log, c.log. However, if I put a negation, it's gonna match every other file except for these three files, which is a.log, b.log and c.log. Except these three files, it will match everything else. So negation is like a reverse selection. Next up, we're gonna see character classes. Inside bracket, we can use special keywords like digit. We can also use alpha, and we can also use upper and lower cases. Upper and lower. The digit will matches any digit from 0 to 9. Alpha will match any letter from A to Z. Lower will match lowercase only. Upper will match uppercase only. Alphanumeric will match combination of letters and digit. We will use this in an example. I'm gonna type ls file, and I only want to include files whose name is only digits and has no alphabetic character. Let's use the classes in an example. If I type ls, then file digit .txt, and it's gonna match file 0 .txt, then file 1.txt all the way to file 9.txt, because we used the class digit, so it's gonna match these files. And not only just ls, you can use the wildcards with the other commands as well, like copy pasting, moving, and removing as well. So what happens if your file name literally contains a star? So this is a wildcard, we know, but what if your file name is, for example, f star le.txt? My bad, file star.txt. What if this is the name of your file? What you can do is you can escape wildcards using backslash. I can put a backslash here. What it will do, it will treat this star a part of name of the file and not as a wildcard. Let's do a quick recap. And that's a wrap on wildcards in Linux. They might seem tricky at first, but once you get the hang of them, you will wonder how you ever managed without them. Because wildcards are so handy if you are dealing with multiple files, and you can sort or group those files based on these patterns. Then you can copy them, paste them, remove them, do whatever you want with them. And just a quick tip I want to give you: before using any command like remove with the wildcards, you should always run ls or echo before actually executing the commands, because if you make any mistake while using the wildcard, you might end up deleting the wrong files. So I can type echo ls star dot log. So it will show me the list of selection first. I can type echo, and I want to remove files which are ending with .log. I can hit enter. It will not remove the files, however it will show you which files you are removing. So once you are satisfied with the selection, then you can go ahead and remove the echo and then execute the command, and it's gonna delete all the files. You see, it has deleted all the files. So this is why it's important to check the selection before you execute the commands like copy, paste or remove, because you might end up losing your precious data. If you learned something new today, drop a like, comment below with your favorite wildcard trick, and don't forget to subscribe to Linux for Noobs for more beginner friendly Linux videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.